Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from 10th Canto, chapter 14, verse 8. Tate nukampam susumikshamano. Tate nukampam susumikshamano. Bunjana evatma kritam vipakam. Bunjana evatma kritam vipakam. Hridvagvapur birvidadan namaste. Hridvagvapur birvidadan namaste. Jivetayo muktipade sadaya bhak. Jivetayo muktipade sadaya bhak. Tattenu kampam susumikshamano. Bunjana evatma kritam vipakam. Hridvagvapur birvidadan namaste. Jivetayo muktipade sadaya bhak. Tatenu kampam susumikshamano. Bunjana evatma kritam vipakam. Hridvagvapur birvidadan namaste. Jivetayo muktipade sadaya bhak. Tattenu kampam susumikshamano. Bunjana evatma kritam vipakam. Hridvagvapur birvidadan namaste. Jivetavyo muktipade sadaya bhak. Tattenu kampam susumikshamano. Bunjana evatma kritam vipakam. Hridvagvapur birvidadan namaste. Jivetayo muktipade sadaya bhak. Tat, therefore, te, yo, anukampam, compassion, susumikshamana, earnestly hoping for, bunjana, enduring, eva, certainly, atmakritam, done by himself, vipakam, the fruitive results, hrit, with his heart, vak, words, vapurbi, and body, vidadan, offering, nama, obeisances, te, unto you, jiveta, lives, ya, anyone who, muktipade, to the position of liberation, sa, he, dayabak, the rightful heir, translation and commentary with Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. My dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him, all the while patiently suffering the reactions of his past misdeeds and offering your respectful obeisances with his heart, words, and body, is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim. Purport. Srila Swami explains in this commentary that just as the legitimate son has to simply remain alive to gain an inheritance from his father, one who simply remains alive in Krishna consciousness, following the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga, automatically becomes eligible to receive the mercy of the personality of Godhead. In other words, he will be promoted to the kingdom of God. The word susumikshamana indicates that a devotee earnestly awaits the mercy of the Supreme Lord even while suffering the painful effects of previous sinful activities. Lord Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita that the devotee who fully surrenders unto him is no longer liable to suffer the reactions of his previous karma. However, because in his mind a devotee may still maintain the remnants of his previous sinful mentality, the Lord removes the last vestiges of the enjoying spirit by giving his devotee punishments that may sometimes resemble sinful reactions. The purpose of entire creation of God is to rectify the living entity's tendency to enjoy without the Lord, and therefore the particular punishment given for sinful activity is specifically designed to curtail the mentality that produced the activity. Although a devotee has surrendered to the Lord's devotional service, until he is completely perfect in Krishna consciousness, he may maintain a slight inclination to enjoy the false happiness of this world. The Lord therefore creates a particular situation to eradicate this remaining enjoying spirit. This unhappiness suffered by a sincere devotee is not technically a karmic reaction. It is rather the Lord's special mercy for inducing his devotee to completely let go of the material world and return home back to Godhead. A sincere devotee earnestly desires to go back to the Lord's abode. Therefore, he willingly accepts the Lord's merciful punishment and continues offering respects and obeisances to the Lord with his heart, words, and body. Such a bona fide servant of the Lord, considering all hardship a small price to pay for gaining the personal association of the Lord, certainly becomes a legitimate son of God, as indicated here by the words daya bhak. Just as one cannot approach the sun without becoming fire, one cannot approach the Supreme Pure, Lord Krishna, without undergoing a rigid purificatory process, which may appear like suffering, but which is in fact a curative treatment administered by the personal hand of the Lord. Tatenu kampam susumikshamano bunjana evatma kritam vipakam hridvagvapur pirvidadan namaste jiveta yonukti pade sadayabhak. My dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him, all the while patiently suffering the reactions of his past misdeeds and offering you respectful obeisances with his heart, words, and body, is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I hope I can say something that might be of interest for you and relevant for you today in the morning. And some of the things would be in questions, so be ready. As we hear this verse and commentary, we see that Prabhupada is speaking about, and Krishna is speaking about this, how to stay alive in Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada sometimes was approached and devotees would say, oh, this one left, that one left. And Prabhupada said, this is not a surprise. The surprise with someone is staying in Krishna consciousness. And maybe when we start Krishna consciousness, it might be for us unimaginable that we will leave this beautiful process and everything. But somehow life does what life does, and then we face many phases of this world which hamper our staying in Krishna consciousness. So it's as we see in the verse, it's very important to stay alive in Krishna consciousness, because just staying alive in Krishna consciousness, it is our rightful heir to go back home, back to Godhead. And staying means something sustainable. And sustainable is connected with which mode of material nature? Goodness, yes, with sattva guna. So sometimes we as practitioners of Bhakti Yoga look at sattva guna like this. Oh, sattva guna. Oh, yes, I know. No. But sometimes it's really like this, Oh, sattva guna. It's like this, because not always are we on the level of sattva guna. What to say, of the transcendental level. So the sattva guna helps us to have a clear vision, what we want in life, and to sustain us in our process of Krishna consciousness. And in the commentary, Prabhupada says, the devotee awaits the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Recently, Satchidananda Swami gave a lecture where he said that one disciple approached spiritual master and asked him, what can we do to bring Krishna, so that Krishna comes to us and that we can see him? And then the spiritual master said, nothing. And the disciple was, how do you mean nothing? So what is the use on all this sadhana, whatever we do in Krishna consciousness? And then the spiritual master answered, this is all that we are prepared, that we await. So when the Lord comes, because he comes on his own accord, just like the sun comes in the morning, so that we are prepared, that we can recognize that he came. So I would like to go from maybe our situation, which is sometimes mixed with the material desires and many other things, and to see how to go from there into the direction of taking shelter of the. Now I moved something. This was not wise. Oops. Oops. I will say one sentence and please comment on this, okay? The sentence is simple and it says, every thought is a support. Would you be so kind to comment on this? How do you see this sentence?
So that we can learn from it.
We can learn.
It's something wrong and then we... Okay.
There's some thought, we can learn from the thought, okay?
Every thought supports some action and feeling.
Every thought supports some action or feeling. If we continue thinking in the same way, it will become a mood, is it not? And if we have a certain mood and we continue in this mood, it will become a part of our character. After some time, it will become our destiny. So every thought is a support, but we need to be sure that this thought supports what we want to achieve, not those things which will degrade us and take us away from our goal. Sometimes we think thoughts that are not supportive to our goal. Is it right? Yeah, the mind, or whenever there is some situation which we didn't expect, the mind goes to the worst scenario, is it not? And then contemplates and what if the car breaks and I can't go to Vyasa Puja? and then you have whole scenario, and then you suffer in advance. Nothing happened. because this is still in our mind. And this is just our thoughts. What about the thoughts of others? In media, in books, in conversations, not all thoughts are supportive to what we want to achieve. Is it not? Sometimes even among the devotees, you can come into the place where devotees are not fit for the process at the moment. They're a little bit like, it's hard for them, and they spill so many things that are not supportive for Krishna consciousness. Is it not? So in a sense, we really need to be very careful that our thoughts support what we want to achieve, and that we can stay in Krishna consciousness in this world. It is said that the world will ask who you are, and if you don't know, the world will tell you. People will tell you who you are. Why this Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna? You're so creative, you are so intelligent, you are so this and that, you should do this, you should act like this. Why you always think too much about these things like this? The world will tell you what to do if you don't do. And it's the same sentence said a different way. If you do not define your own identity, purpose, and values, external forces like society, peers, or environment and circumstances will define them for you. If you think you're too small to say what you want in your life, the others will try to keep it like that. Is it not? If you think, maybe I can't choose my way of life because what will this one say, that one say? So many people take college which is not for them because parents said. Is it not? The same can be in Krishna consciousness. When we are in Krishna's consciousness, so many things can go in directions we do not want. And in this process, when the mind takes over, in the situation where it is not easy for us, we can come to some beliefs and some conclusions which will really not help us in Krishna consciousness. One of these conclusions can be, we are not worthy of this process. Maybe for others this will work, but for me, I never finished anything. So I'm so like this, like that, Or maybe we become too proud, how everything goes nicely, and then we face the wall after some times. Or maybe we think we don't have what is needed to succeed. It's easy for this Prabhu or that Mataji, she is so dedicated, or he is so surrendered. But what about me? It is not for us. Or something else is important at the moment. We always have some important things, is it not? This just after I finish this, then I will really dedicate myself to what is needed, One sentence that I liked very much is, we need to stop looking for directions from people who were never there where we want to be. There where we want to be. They were never there where we want to be. Like, we read so many books. I was, how do you say? Gimnazia, kak je to? Gymnasium, yeah. And we read a lot. And it was such things that I just waited to forget it. It was not worth it, really. Some things are a little bit, you read 300 pages and then there are 3 sentences that are really something. The rest is really like, come on. So we don't look into directions from the people who were not there where we want to be. We want to be in the associations of those people who know what to do. So there's always these limiting beliefs that try to cover us. And these limiting beliefs are not always so obvious. And I will read you something that struck me very much. It's a book on constructive journalism. What journalists realized is that politicians and media create all this mess that we have in this world, because they just want bad things. If it's good thing, it's not good news. Bad things are good news. So they always project everything in a bad sense. And in analyzing things, there was one research, and it's 5 sentences. I will just read it. As a professor at Karolinska Institute in Stockholm, Rosling began to test his students and fellow professors' knowledge on the basic facts of the world. So he wanted to know what is their knowledge about the basic facts of the world. And it turned out that they performed worse than test group of chimpanzees, which means worse than random. Students and professors were worse than a group of chimpanzees. They also could choose, Such wrong answers could not be the results of guessing. They were not guessing. Something else was wrong. They must be due to preconceived ideas that in a systematic way create and maintain ignorance. Preconceived ideas, prejudice, where you have some prejudice about something and then you see it completely differently. Only preconceived ideas can make us perform worse than random, explained the professor. We thought so much about something. Oh, I'm so useless. And then really you can't do anything. Is it not? And you have people who think, I know everything, I do everything. And they do. As there's a sentence that is said that Ford said, but I don't know if it's truth. If you think you can, you are right. If you think you cannot, you're right. So it's very important that we think we can do something. Otherwise, because this prejudice is something that is inside, we don't see it so much. And we see the world with this filter. And that's why the professors and students were worse than chimpanzees about the basic things about the world. Because there's so much prejudice about things. And we need to discover this. We can have prejudice about others, but we have prejudice about us also. If you grew up in a family who is telling you also, you will never achieve it, it will stay with you, is it not? And later in your life, when you need some support, you will hear the voice, you will I never achieve it. So if we don't believe that we are worthy of something, it will not come as a truth. Is it not? Bhagavatam says, if you can't value something, you cannot achieve it. Something you cannot value, you cannot achieve it. For instance, I'm not into politics. I don't value this. I can't be a politician because I will never pursue this. So what you cannot value, you cannot achieve. And so it's very important that Krishna consciousness is of greatest value in our life. Then we can achieve it. If it is not of the greatest value, other things will be priorities. At least we will think, at least for now, but later, I know everything. Later I will do whatever is necessary. So actually we become what we think we are worthy of. And Prabhupada used to say, if you don't love God, you will love dog. Just recently I was thinking about something, and then I said, if you don't love someone with 4 hands, you will love someone with 4 legs. Because you see so many people running around with the dogs. one sentence that I liked very much and I would like to share with you is, don't belittle yourself to fit the places you don't belong. This world is not the place where we belong. Somehow we are accustomed to it, but this is not the place that we belong. Material civilization means killing of the soul, atmaha. Material civilization is going against the spiritual life. And when a person loses his Krishna consciousness and loses interest in self-realization, he must engage in sinful activities. That leads to defeat and misuse of one's life. What to do? I have a simple rule for life. I read it some recently. Nitya Prabhu sent it to me, and I liked it very much. I would like you to comment on it. The simple rule for life is like this: look back and thank God. Look ahead and trust God. How do you like it? Is it easy? Yes. Simple for simple people is easy. For those who are complicated, it's not so easy. Can we look on whatever happened to us and say, thank you, God? Yes, that's good. If not, what will we do? We will try to change the past. Is it not? We will try to change the past. And we will speak all the time about past. If I did this, then it would be. If they did this, then it would be. Is it not? So many people are still living in the past. They're trying to change something. If I didn't go to the temple but worked outside, or if I didn't work outside but go to the temple, then it would be then we try to change these things. And also that we can trust God in the future. Is the future certain? No. So it's not easy. But if we can't accept uncertainty, what will we feel? Fear. And if we accept uncertainty, how is it called? Trust. Something, yeah? Adventure. Why? Adventure has uncertainty in it, but it's completely different mood where you go. When you can't accept uncertainty, then you feel fear. Oh, how will this work out? But when you accept uncertainty, but when you accept uncertainty, then it's adventure. And Krishna consciousness is an adventure. It's not certain. No. It's certain in a sense. If you stay in Krishna consciousness, you will go back home, back to Godhead. But it's not certain that you will stay in Krishna consciousness. You need to do some effort and need to do right things that will help you do this. So if we can't accept what happened, then we will feel fear, maybe anger, maybe we will blame someone. If we can't accept uncertainty, we will also be fearful. Is it not? So among the intentions, there are 4 intentions. One of the intention is out of fear. And it is the lowest intention. Out of fear, you do something. If I don't come to Mangalarati, everybody will see, my reputation will be lost. Second one is out of greed. You want something. You want something. Third one is out of duty. And it's better. And the fourth one is out of love, or like selfless service. So for us, if we stay in this fear part, cannot accept uncertainty, then it's not such a good intention, is it not? The best intentions, if we can do it out of selfless service. And this society actually doesn't award you for spiritual things. this society awards you for betraying yourself. Is it not? If you pursue material goals, they will reward you. If you pursue spiritual goals, they will say, why you waste time? Is it not? The society. Yeah, the society, outside society. They will say, you lose your time. So for us, the only solution is self-realization. Can you tell me definition of self-realization that you heard in Krishna consciousness? Yes.
To realize the soul,
Realize
Krishna,
Krishna,
and to realize the
connection between us. Anything else?
Realize that we are eternal servants.
To realize the eternal servant. I recently stumbled upon very interesting, for me, sentence in Bhagavad Gita, in commentary of Prabhupada. And he said, defines self-realization in this commentary. He defines self-realization in different ways, in different, like what you said. And he said, self-realization is compassion or empathy for the soul. For the soul. Compassion for the soul is self-realization, or empathy for the soul is self-realization. So actually, empathy for the body, mind, intelligence, ego stays in this realm, but empathy for the soul is what we needed, because this is our, as Mani Manjari said, this is our eternal identity. And to be compassionate to yourself takes a compassionate presence of another. Only when compassion is present will people allow themselves to see the truth. To be compassionate to yourself takes compassionate presence of another. Only when compassion is present will people allow themselves to see the truth. In Bhakti Sangha manual about Bhakti Sangha program, there was one sentence: people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So this care, this compassion of someone gives us space where we can see the truth. Because in this compassion and care, we are accepted. And then in this environment where we are accepted, we can flourish, we can grow. And the greatest, because the spiritual life is not just a science, it's a relationship. And the greatest gift one can have in our life is someone who has more faith in us than we have in ourselves. Who's that?
Krishna.
Guru Krishna. Yes, Guru and Krishna. So this is the relationship that fosters compassion and helps us to see things in a different way, because we are accepted and we are worthy. Krishna says you are worthy. Why do you think you are not worthy? Is it not? Krishna says you are worthy. Why do we think we are not worthy? Surrendering to Guru and Krishna is the process. That's the relationship of mercy. And mercy is when you awake from the dream you cannot win, as Guru Maharaj said last year on Vyasa Puja. Jeev Jago, Jeev Jago. Mercy is when you awake from the dream you cannot win. It's interesting that the more you admit the mercy in your life, the more you will have the mercy in your life. Did you hear about the phenomena of red car? Who heard the phenomena of red car? Red car, yeah. So I'll tell you how it works. So, who of you sometimes travels for the job for some time? Or to buy some groceries or something? Yeah? And you go through the town. And how many red cars did you see? You don't remember. Probably you saw some cars. Yeah, probably. But you didn't take care of. Who cares about red cars? No. So if you go tomorrow, maybe to buy groceries or go to the job or whatever, go in Sakintan, and that I tell you that I will give you 100 euros for every red car that you see. And in the evening, we will make a list, Not just that you will say how many there, you will say when, where, how. You will know everything about the red car. This is the same thing with when we are grateful and when we are looking for the mercy. It's the same thing. If I would tell you this evening, we will go through your list, you use A4 paper and write what are you grateful for this day, and where did you notice Krishna's mercy? Would you have a list? Yeah, you would have a list. And if you practice this, it will become more and more. Is it not? Rumi says, those things you look for, they look for you. And modern world knows it. How is it called in the modern world? Algorithm. You search something on the mobile phone, in next few days you get all these things. You look for the vacuum cleaner, and next days you will just get vacuum cleaner. Is it not? So what you search for, it searches for you also. So if we search for the gratefulness, if we search for the mercy, the more gratefulness, the more mercy will come in our life, because we will notice it. And with gratefulness, it's so nice, because when you are grateful, you notice the contribution of others in your life. Is it not? Otherwise, we just take it as normal. It's normal that we have Mangala. It's normal that someone sings. It's normal that there's breakfast. It's normal. No, it's not normal. Somebody has to do something so that we have all these things. Is it not? It's normal that we have Vyasa Puja. But it's not. So many devotees take so much care that it happens. And then we can recognize it, and then we can be grateful for this, and we can see this is actually mercy, that we can have such a festival. So, what are our qualifications for the mercy?
Humbleness.
You are humble? Oh, very nice. Yes? We are where we are mercy cases. Yeah, that is also something, yes. Yeah, that we are ready to accept the mercy. We are not like, oh, I don't need the mercy. I'm okay. I'm fine. There was a guy. He was approaching a CEO in a firm. He wanted a job, and it was a job interview. And they sit in front of each other, and then the director asked him, "So, can you tell me something about yourself?" And then the guy said, "I would rather not." And then he said, "How do you mean? This job is very important for me." He has no qualification. If he says something, then he is really in trouble because he has no qualification. So, whom do we look for with such qualifications for the mercy? We have such qualifications that we are disqualified. So who do we look for the mercy? We know we are disqualified. Whom do we look for the mercy? Someone who is ready to give mercy like anything. And who is that? Guru Krishna. And we are approaching the festival, Lord Nityananda. So this is the person we approach. To whom Lord Nityananda preached? Jagai Mother, to the most fallen. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sometimes preached to the really high class people. By Nityananda Prabhu, he preached to the lowest, who those who are really like in need. Lord Nityananda is intoxicated by ecstatic love and is an incarnation of mercy, Kripa avatar. We are not special. The mercy is special. What we need is to get the mercy. And what is the qualification to get the mercy from Lord Nityananda? What we need to do? Chant Gora Gora. What else? In some songs it said, just pay your obeisances to the Lord and pray. Just pay obeisances and pray. That's enough. That's enough. If you pay obeisances and pray, you are saved. But when is Lord Nityananda relevant for us? When? When is he relevant for us? What has to be there in order for him to be relevant for us?
I thought you mean for what we taking shelter to Lord Nityananda?
No. When is he relevant for us? What has to be there in order that he is relevant for us? When we are in trouble, okay. Shraddha, when we have faith. When we want to receive the mercy of the Lord. When we are in trouble, we will ask for Lord Nityananda. But when we aspire for the association of divine couple of Radha and Krishna, then Lord Nityananda is very, very important. If you don't aspire for the association of Radha and Krishna, so then Lord Nityananda is not so relevant, is it not? Huh? So these high expectations, I want to see the Lord, I want to serve the Lord, I want to be with the Lord. That is something that is very important. So this eagerness to come in contact with the divine couple and serve them, this is very important, because then you are alert. If you don't have this high goal, suffering comes and goes, is it not? After some time, you don't suffer so much. Okay, no need for these high topics. But if you want to achieve Radha and Krishna, and especially if you want to be close to them, develop deep relationship, then Nityananda Prabhu is very relevant. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very relevant. Relationship with the spiritual master is very relevant. Is it not? So maybe the question is, if we are not so eager for this association, the question is maybe the goal is in the fog, And when the goal is in the fog, then you only thing you see is obstacles. Is it not? When you don't see the goal, so you have to have the goal which is bigger than obstacles. Then you can see the goal still. If the obstacle is like this and the goal is like this, you can't see the goal. But if the goal is big, and is there a bigger goal than come in contact with Radha and Krishna and serve them? This is the biggest goal. When we have such a goal, then it's no problem. We can do it. So we can also contribute. We can also contact Lord Nityananda in a different ways. Which ways would you say are very nice to contact Lord Nityananda?
To ask them how can we even assist in the service.
How can we assist them in their service? And what is the main service of Lord Nityananda in this world?
Distribute love of God.
To distribute love of God, because this is the mission of Lord Chaitanya. So if we want to be connected with them, so then we also contribute to the mission of Lord Nityananda and Chaitanya and distribute it, and to deliver the fallen soul of this age. It says in Bhagavatam in 10th canto, it is the duty of every living being to perform welfare activities for the benefit of others with his life, wealth, intelligence, and words. And I would just like to read the short story of one special person Did you hear of the person by name Vitalis? Anybody? Vitalis. Yeah.
I just recently read the
Yeah.
story.
I will read it again. I got the story from one devotee, and this is a story that shows how someone was ready to give everything for the benefit of others. Vitalis. For years, people watched him walk into the brothels and shook their heads in disgust. They called him a fraud, a holy man living a lie. Only after his death did women he had rescued speak up, and only then did Alexandria understand what it had lost. His name was Vitalis, and he carried one of the quietest, most beautiful secrets of the ancient world to his grave. In the year 625, an old man arrived in Alexandria, Egypt. It was a city of brilliance and contradiction, filled with learning and debate, commerce and excess. Libraries stood alongside marketplaces, churches beside brothels. Alexandria contained everything. Vitalis was around 60, an advanced age for the 7th century. Most men his age were long dead. Those who lived were expected to slow down, withdraw, and prepare for the end. Vitalis did the opposite. He found the hardest labor he could and took it on. He hauled stone, carried loads, and worked until his body ached, earning little more than enough to survive. For decades before this, he had lived alone in a desert as a hermit, owning nothing, sleeping on the ground, seeking God through silence and deprivation. Now, each evening, sore and exhausted, he gathered his wages and walked into the brothels, night after night. Alexandria noticed immediately. The city was deeply religious, quick to judge, slow to forgive. Prostitution was tolerated but despised, and the women trapped in it were considered lost forever. So, when an elderly ascetic was seen entering brothels every evening, the conclusion came easily. He was a hypocrite, another so called holy man preaching purity while indulging in vice. The whispers spread, the looks hardened, people mocked him openly. Vitalis heard it all. He saw the contempt. He understood exactly what they believed. He never defended himself. What no one, now I need to be careful. I have this situation where when I'm absorbed in someone who is so nice, I start crying. So I will try to be a little bit more like not so into it. What no one knew was this: Vitalis never touched the woman, not once. He paid for entire night so they would not have to see other men, so they could rest. Then he sat with them and listened. He asked how they ended up there, why they had lost, what they had lost, what they still hoped for. He told them that they were more than what had been done to them, that escape was possible. Some laughed, some sent him away, but others listened. Vitalis has prepared for this. Quietly, patiently, he had built a network. He found families who needed workers. He secured safe places to live. He saved money for dowries, knowing that without one woman in that world had almost no chance at a new life. He did not shame them. He did not preach repentance. He offered practical help and treated them with dignity. One by one, women disappeared from the brothels. They married, they worked, they survived. He asked only one thing in return: silence. He wanted no prize. He wanted his reputation. He wanted his reputation ruined if that was uh, the cost of protecting the work. If people knew the truth, they would interfere, they would judge, control, and turn rescue into spectacle. So Vitalis let the city believe the worst. For years he worked until his body weakened. Every day labor, every night to brothels. Every so often another life reclaimed. Then one night someone attacked him. No one knows why. Perhaps anger, perhaps self-righteousness, perhaps cruelty. The beating was so severe. Vitalis managed to reach his hut on the edge of the city, where he died alone from his injuries. Alexandria thought a fraud was gone. Then, then the women came forward. They told their stories of the old man who paid their wages and never touched them, who listened, who planned, who gave them a way out when no one else would. The truth spread quickly. Shame followed. The man they had mocked had been saving lives. The hypocrite has been a saint who sanctified his body, his reputation, sacrificed his body, his reputation, and finally his life so others could live. The women carried his body through the streets with candles and hymns. The city that had judged him now mourned him. Vitalis was later honored as a saint, remembered not for words or appearances, but for choosing action over reputation. He did not just care, he paid the cost. He chose to be misunderstood so others could be free. For years, they'd call him a sinner. Only after his death did Alexandria realize it had been living beside the saint, and only then did it finally weep. I've learned here is if there is any question or comment, please. Hare Krishna. How do you like the story? Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for very thoughtful lecture. There was this point also in the purport, but we should just stay alive to inherit the kingdom of God. And I think you were touching a little bit on some way that we might not stay alive. But I was wondering, staying alive means to more or less always be enthusiastic in Krishna consciousness. Yeah. And sometimes after years or like this, we are still alive, but at the same time not alive. We are not getting the nourishment we are supposed to get out of Krishna consciousness. Yeah. And then obviously then material nature become attractive, and then slowly we might be moving aside from Krishna consciousness. Yeah. What would be your recommendation to stay really alive, not to just be doing the external of Krishna consciousness, but to really be inspired inside?
I would say two things. One, there are two verses in Bhagavad Gita that are repeated twice. One of them is Man Manabhava Mad Bhakto Madhyajipanamaskuru. And the other verse is, it's better to do your duty imperfectly than to do the other's duty perfectly, because this will incur only sin. And I was thinking about this, that we have eternal nature, and Man Manabhava verse speaks about this eternal nature. We should always be ready to do whatever is necessary in devotional service. And the other things that also gives some kind of stability and let us say peace of mind in a sense, is if we are engaged in this world according to our nature. Because the Dharma, when you support the Dharma, Dharma supports you. And Bhagavad Gita starts with the word Dharma and ends with word Mama, Dharma, Mama, my Dharma. So it's actually that thing that is also very important. For me, it was quite a realization, because I spent last 7 years doing something professionally which is not my Dharma. And I was like dying, slowly, but dying, you know. And then I said, I just don't want to just, be in Krishna consciousness. I just want to be alive in Krishna consciousness. And for that is also good that you have the stability from where you can, go on. Once Guru Maharaj spoke about going to Vrindavan, and then he said how important it is an airport in Frankfurt for going to Vrindavan. It's important. So it's important because you need to go there in order to go to Vrindavan. So the same is how important is this dharmic way where you are settled and from where you can launch yourself to the service of the divine couple. So it's good. This is one way, and the other way I would say we just need as much as possible the association of those who are really alive, because this is contagious. This is contagious. When you are with those people who are really alive, it's contagious. You can't you just can't go away. It's really like it. And then you have this eagerness, which is so much important for the realizing the Lord and for waiting. You can wait when you do what is necessary. If you just wait, it doesn't work. I'm just waiting. No. You do what is necessary. Help other people. Help yourself to be fit. What struck me in the lectures of Guru Maharaj, it's not that I heard it for the first time, but it struck me really, because I have already some years in my life that when Guru Maharaj spoke about 5 S's in his lectures, then there was Sangha also. And he said, how good Sangha are you? He didn't say what we are now saying, search for the Sangha of vibrant, very inspired. With how good Sangha are you? And I was like, oops, this is a problem. And if I'm not a good Sangha, why would such elevated people would like me near? When I felt the most connected with spiritual master, with the mission of Lord Chaitanya, was when I was engaged in the mission, up to this. Then I felt we were not close geographically, but I felt so close. So somehow we need to see how to come in the association, those who are really touched by the Lord and are so inspired, and then do something that for others like this. And that's why this story of Vitalis inspired me so much. His only rule was silence. He didn't want anybody to hear because the mission was depending on this. So we can also do something, but we can do it from a stable situation. If you don't have stable situation, you can't do much. Is it not? Yeah. So I think that if we are in a stable situation and we search for such people, and I was wondering, just this question came to my mind when I was working at a job I didn't like, and I was wondering, what can I do, like to approach such people, to have such people in my surrounding, because they live everywhere and they live in different traditions also, not just in Krishna consciousness. And so I was like, and I said, oh, I know how to do it. And then one devotee and me came to idea, we will do a God cast. Podcast? You know what is podcast? We will do God cast. God. That means the only topic will be God. And the only people who will come for the podcast will be those who are really interested in God and want to share this with others. And when you speak with such people, you're connected. And in order to get them there, you need to contact them, you need to recognize them, contact them, and see if they are willing to come. Give them a space where they can speak something about God, make it relevant for the people. And I was thinking, oh, you will be immersed all the time about thinking about this. So it's one way, but probably there are many ways how we can do this. And I think this is the best way. And how I'm preparing for this, I'm reading about such people. And it's interesting, internet helps when you put like a miracle, God's miracle in the internet, they start sending you miracles and stories about beautiful saints from the past, and it's like, oh, nice. And then there are stories of people of today who are accomplished and they turn to God also. So things start moving. But this eagerness is the only way. It's nature of instruction. The eagerness to attain the Lord is so important. So if you don't have it, then who has it? Who has it? And then go there. I'll tell you one small story. It was simple, but for me it had a deep meaning. You can meet people who can support you on your way in places you don't expect. I was working in a PR agency, and we started work at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I couldn't chant my rounds before. I couldn't wake up in 2 o'clock and like this. So I would have some rounds to chant more, and during the pause at the job, I would go out in the park and chant. And the park, it was a small park, very nice park, and there were some small roads where people were walking like this. And there was one little island where not so many people come. And I said, okay, I can go there. Go in the circle, and there was a stone square, maybe 5-7 meters, and then I would go around. And I came there and chanted, like, if somebody comes, no problem, I am chanting. I would chant softly and go around. And then the next day, I wanted to go to the same place, but there was someone on the bench just near to that place. And I was like, come on, now I can't be on my spot. But I said, who cares? I will chant. So I'm chanting, and with my eyes, I'm looking at the person. Maybe the person will be a little bit, confused. What am I doing? No, the person is quite peaceful, and he's sitting there, apparently doing nothing. So I'm chanting. And at one point I see he has a hand also under the jacket. And I was like, oh, maybe he's doing the same thing. And while thinking so, I just nodded like this, and he nodded also like this. so I go around. And then he first left because he came early, probably also on pause. He left. And I was like, oh, now I'm missing him. Okay. The next day, he was also there. I just came. Now I nodded immediately. He nodded immediately. He was with his hand under the jacket. I still don't know which tradition, what, but he was praying also for something. And I was doing that. For 3 days it went like this. And the fourth day, he was not there. And I was like, oh, I'm missing him, Where is he, I don't know which tradition, how, but you see someone on the same path, trying to reach God, and you feel inspired. And what to say about those who are really, really in touch with the spiritual dimension? That are the persons we can be, and we can associate with them in person. We can read about them. We can listen about them, and aspire to be the same as they are in such a way. Maybe it's okay. Anything else? If you don't have question, I will have question. Yes.
Hare Krishna, thank
Hare
you for
Krishna.
this very interesting lecture. You, as a Prabhupada went as a purport, or wrote as a purport, removing the remaining part
enjoying spirit.
Yeah.
How is it with prasadam? Also, we honor prasadam, and
Yeah.
what said if we take prasadam, our senses are controlled. But if we take more, then it's good for us. Isn't we still in enjoying spirit?
I think the prasadam is the least harmless for us. The enjoying spirit is so pervaded that we want to enjoy everything, everything around us. I know that in the first canto of Bhagavatam there is something that helps me regarding enjoying spirit. It says that enjoying is like a salt. If you put some salt in a food, then it is digestible and tasteful. Without salt, food is not so tasteful. If you put too much salt, then it's not tasteful also. So the enjoying in this life is like this. You need to enjoy, otherwise you will die if you don't enjoy something. But this should be like a salt. Enough so that right amount that you can survive, but there's how do you say, sense gratification. It's that you don't gratify your senses. You satisfy your senses, but you don't gratify your senses. There's a difference. When you satisfy, sometimes you feel, oh, now I'm okay, but one more samosa, or one more this, one more, and then it's something else. The same is with the world. There's something you can't escape. Some things you have to see, you have to hear, but if you follow up, then it's different. For instance, one spiritual master was asked, what about sex life? Do you never think about sex life? And he said immediately, yes. And we were all like, wow, he's thinking about sex life. And then he said, but I do not follow. I do not follow up. And one friend of mine from Bosnia said it like this: first look is on. He's from Muslim family, so he said like this: first look is on Allah, second look is on you. You see something that you like, and you can't go like this in the world. You have to see this. But if you want to enjoy it, then it's a second look. Again you look. So it's first is on Allah. You have to go around. But if you follow up, and that's on you, then the attachment arises. So it's not that we just go around, but need to be careful. And that's why the association of those who are looking for the high goal is so important. It's so important. Because when we step the borders, for us, maybe we are accustomed to this. But those who have high aspirations, they say, you stepped the border. Like Guru Maharaj once came back from Vrindavan, and he was on a Kartik Vrata, and came back, and just after that he came to Zagreb, where I live, and he stayed in our apartment. And then he said, oh, I need one book, can you bring me? So I brought it, and it was and then he looked at the shelf and saw also other books which were not connected with Krishna consciousness, something with management and like finances, like this. And he said, oh, you also read this? I said, yes. And then I started to explain things that I said. And he was looking like this at me and said, Govindananda, if you don't want to tell me how the pearl is hanging from the nose of Srimati Radharani, and he continued like this, please don't continue. I just came from Vrindavan. I can't listen about these things. And then you realize, really, I'm so into these things. The moment somebody says, I would like to explain, but no need. Maybe one more story. Is it okay? Short. 2 minutes. There was tremendous kirtan we had a program inside of 400 people were there and 30 devotees were on the stage. We were dancing like anything. It was summer, sweating like anything, dancing, singing and everything. And then after the program finished, we just went back behind the curtain and were completely exhausted and just laid down on the floor, And nobody was speaking, and Maharaj was just looking around. And then he said, please, don't be normal. Don't be normal. Because this is not normal, These things are not normal. So please, don't be normal. People will say you are like this, you are like that. But you are not weird. Maybe you are just first in their surrounding who is so deeply in Krishna consciousness. And that's why you look weird. But you are not weird. Maybe you're just first. If you would be the 10th, no problem. But you maybe just first. Maybe first in the family or whatever. We are not weird. And we should not be normal. Hare Krishna. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai. Shri Gornitai ki jai. Shla Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.